today. On the program today, our focus will be on this unending struggle for the leadership of the 9th National Assembly, even when the 8th Assembly is yet to fully wind down. So many angles are coming to the struggle, and while the ruling party, seem to have anointed someone for the post of the Senate President and another for this speakership. Yet we still have people who are saying, no, we won't agree. We no go agree, like they say in student parlance and labor parlance as well. Of particular relevance and importance is Ndume, Senator Ndume, struggling to head the Senate, who had been saying he won't step down. Of course, you have the opposition party dimension to it. And of course, where would that lead the nation when we talk about settling the dust finally in June or May 29 this year, and where we'll be going from there, taking a cue from what has been the laws of the National Assembly of Nigeria in the 8th National Assembly. Once again, you're welcome on the program. I have, as our guests, two gentlemen, one a lawyer, the other not so learned, well educated, highly traveled. Now, when you combine learning and education that we are having on the program today, we are sure we'll have something that will make your day. Barrister Abraham Shenge is here. He's a lawyer in the house. You're welcome.
Thank you, Vios. Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Yes, the highly educated one in the house today is a prince. He has blue blood running in his veins, and a widely traveled man, also a politician and entrepreneur who has seen what it takes to break democracy from what it will be. He will be telling you that it's always apolitical, but every Nigerian, like every human being, is a political animal. Prince Sani Ajayi, you're welcome on the program.
Thank you for inviting me.
Now, let's take off from Barrister Shenge. This seemingly unending struggle for the leadership of the National Assembly, come the 9th National Assembly, most especially as far as the speakership and the Senate President is concerned. Don't you think it's becoming a kind of distraction for the 8th National Assembly?
Well, I don't think it is a distraction. A distraction is an irritant, something that is secondary, something that is marginal, as opposed to the main and substantive issue. But you see, why I say it is not a distraction is that, you see, in Nigeria, we have come so badly, things have got so bad in our climate that most often you have the primary actually becoming secondary. You have the principal actually becoming subsidiary. That is, the important gets relegated to the background, and what ordinarily should be taken as a matter of course now becomes promoted to a high level of relevance, of prominence, that so much that we get so confused, people do not know whether we are talking about A or we are talking about. That is how bad things are. So that is exactly why I won't say that it is a distraction. The relevant has become the main thing in Nigeria. I mean, what should be taken for granted is now becoming
being promoted
to the point of relevance. And so that is why it is now a case of the tail wagging the dog instead of the other way around. That is so. Yeah, ordinarily, which is something that we ought to take for granted. For example, in America, the moment the Democratic Party won the last election at the House of Reps in America, In fact, nobody even talked about it. In fact, even before that time, it had become well known that it was Pelosi that was going to be there. When the Republicans won at the last election to the House of Reps, nobody argued it with Korean automatically, you know. But we are talking about a different climb. We are talking about a climb where seriousness, where what is the real issue, principal issues are treated as principal issues.
Okay. Democracy, we wouldn't know the number of colors it has. Maybe it's a rainbow color. The color we are having in Nigeria may be different from that of America, whether homegrown or whatever. But democracy, I want to believe, is democracy, and presidential system of government should be presidential system of government. Be that as it may, this idea of being distraction or not a distraction. You look at the current National Assembly. The budget is yet to be passed. There are so many national issues on the front burners that should have attracted the attention of the 8th National Assembly about winding down. You look at the security challenges that we are having left, right, and center in Zamfara, in this and that and that. Almost all the northern, the northeast axis of northern Nigeria and part of the central and even the western axis of northern Nigeria. Now, even here, now, rather than acting, talking, or working on this, either from the incumbent Senate president or the city speaker, or you'll be having lots of comments on who becomes what in the next National Assembly. Is that really good for us as a nation?
Well, it's not good for us as a nation, but again, you know, there's a proverb that says the hunchman, you know, is being looked at and is being blamed that look at the load you carry. So what's going on? The guy said, listen, you have to do from the leg before you get to the head. So I think, you know, our choices for picking these people, you know, to those high offices are major problems. Because every nation gets the leadership it deserves. You know, we always try to get people that only know about butter and bread. And so when the election is coming, they bring loads and loads and loads of money and they distribute, and then at the end of the day, they go to the parliament. So what do you expect in return? You see, so they're not patriotic. You know, they're not the ideal kind of people that a nation should boast of. Because right now, there's a guy I really like so much, although people will never listen to him. You know, his name is Governor Yari, His Excellency, the governor of Zamfara State. When things are getting out of hand, this guy cried out, and he said he was ready, you know, to leave his position, to go away from the government mansion if there be peace in Zamfara. And that the government, at the federal level, should declare a state of emergency. So the lives of his people, you know, should be saved. Nobody listened to him. So what am I saying in essence is that there's a problem that we need to face. Number one, the legislators never even knew that they have the highest and most critical powers in any nation. They are the people who have the audacity to remove the president or the governor or whoever. But unfortunately, they are the people also who will be running to these people, you know, for succor. So until we really come round and say, listen, how do we want our country to go? I think it is then we can be able to talk about people who are going to be the heads of all these, you know, House of Representatives and the Senate. Okay,
now let's look at the ruling party. Some are of the opinion that the ruling party at the national level, at the federal level, that's talking about the All Progressive Congress, APC, it seems to be raising the stakes too high with the pronouncements coming from the party leaders, either the leaders or even the elected national officers of the party. You talk about Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, you talk about Oshiomhole, you talk about pocket of others. That's the way they've been speaking on it. That wherever you have actions, there must be reactions, and wherever you have reactions, at times there must be counter actions. You want to see the manner the ruling party is handling it should have been better than what we are seeing?
Well, it depends on the way you look at it. If one was around in 2015 and a rather disorderly, undecided manner, the party went into this point of getting its national officers, the officers, principal officers at the National Assembly, the way they emerged, the party went into it like a sleepwalker in 2015. It was undecided. It assumed that everything would go well and that people will fall into line. And therefore, there was no serious party, So the party actually surprised itself. It was like a party laying ambush for itself in 2015. And to that extent, the party suffered for it for the duration of the 4 years, which will be expiring on the 29th or first day of June or so, thereabout. Now, but so, coming from that experience, the party leaders probably resolved that this time around and in future never again. I want to believe that that is the working of their mind. That this time around, we are going to drum it into everybody's ears. This must not happen again. That what happened before must not happen again. And that was why probably you recall the conference of the party where, the chairman talked about a lot of things. Unfortunately, it is the moral scriptures, the preachments of the party chairman that caught the attention of most people about, the way principal officers will emerge. The party chairman actually touched on a number of things. Issues of policies, issues of, party discipline, issues of policies, how a modern party ought to be organized. The chairman actually he dwelled at length, talked even about economic policies, about the way to go. So I think that it is better for the party to actually start trashing the matter out now. People are already coming out. You would be surprised by that what happened on June 3rd, 2015 came to everybody as a surprise. Even the opposition party never knew, when maybe they knew a day or two, that it was actually quite possible to throw, spanner into because it was a jealously guarded secret. The master planner himself was somewhere in the, scheming, and he almost got away with it. So this time around, there's no hiding place for anybody. Dume has come out, and it is all right. Because you don't know it is an enemy, or a player that you don't know, I won't call him an enemy. He's not an enemy within the party, within the APC. He has naturally expressed, he's a stakeholder. So, but if he doesn't come out, how would you know? If he then stole a secret one on the party, then you'll have had a repetition of it. So it is all right for me. And I think it is good that the leaders are actually putting their feet down. But I know that beyond the public, grandstanding and declarations, I know very well that behind the scenes, negotiations are going on. Very serious negotiations, and you'll be surprised. Okay, it might end up being an anticlimax on the D-Day.
Okay, anticlimax. So
yes, anticlimax.
Going by what Barrister Shingi had just explained, some people believe that this matter should be a family affairs within APC.
Yes.
Or a family affairs within
the National
Assembly elected members.
Yes.
They should decide who they want to be their leader.
Okay.
While the party also has its own role to play, as far as members of that particular party that are elected are concerned. Now, the thing seems to be going beyond family affairs. It's becoming public and national affairs. How do you see this?
Well, I see it from, let's first and foremost go back to the U.S. Even in the U.S., we have these similar experiences. Pelosi did not just get that just like that. There were so many other people that stood up in the party, who said, listen, Pelosi, we ain't gonna allow you to be there. Well, she went around there, cleverly, smartly, getting the party hierarchy to support her. So eventually when it got to the, to the floor of the Congress, she had no problem. So, it is not partisan. The party has the audacity and the prerogative to actually nominate who should be leaders, in the parliament. So it is not that when they get, because I've been hearing a lot of people talking about when they get to the House of Reps, the reps on their own should be able to, to do this and that. No, those guys did not get there on their own. We don't have independent candidature in Nigeria. Everybody must belong to a political party before it can be voted in. So meaning what? That since it's a party name that's on the ballot, so that means at the end of the day, the party calls the shot. And in recent times, we're having a leader that people seem not to understand, but is a good one. That is Comrade Oshiomhole. Is behaving like a true party chairman because the powers, the authority, resonates in the chairmanship of that party. It is not in the office of the president. It is not in the office of the governor, but rather it is in the party office that things that affect, the parties, the people should be decided. So now, why are we having these problems? We're having this problem because everything has been monetized. Everybody knows that the president of the Senate in Nigeria, you're already a billionaire. You're going to live in the best house, you're going to ride the best cars and stuff like that. So everybody is now going for it. And Lawan, too, has not really made himself too available for the people because he needs to have been preparing for this position. He needs to have been more representative than hereafter. Everybody will tell you one thing, that which we cannot take away from Congressman Gbajabi Amila. This is a fifth tenure now that the guy is going to have from Surulere. But all along, he has always been coming forward, to let people understand that, listen, as far as the Congress is concerned, I'm the leader, and eventually he got the position of the majority leader. So, and today now, for his speakership, I don't think he's having many problems. So, my own thing, because the barrister say, and I agree with him, that we won't get to the anti-climax, we'll get to the anti-climax. We'll get to the anti-climax where all these things will simmer down. But before then, I think, since everybody looks up to Mr. President in Nigeria, Mr. President should come out and say, listen, this is the man I want, to be the president of the Senate. And then I think other people will fall in line. But if I to be somewhere else, Mr. President also knows that, he's responsible to the Senate. And the Senate is his boss. So gradually, I think our democracy is developing. And more people are coming in. And then the so-called elites in Nigeria should be more enlightened. Because I can see that even the elites in Nigeria are not enlightened. I know are the people who actually put these people in position. I want to tell you, in the north, that the Talakawas, the people, the downtrodden people, who never went to school, who do not know their left from their right. They are the people that go out there and vote. And in the south, who are the people also that put people, in offices? They know all these social media guys. No, no. So at the end of the day, what do you expect?
Okay, Sashengi, this idea of Mr. President coming out to say, this is the one I want, among the contestants or the contenders. Remember what happened in 2015? And for nobody, and for everybody. The body language, even as at now, he hasn't spoken. This is his preference. In Yoruba, they would say that is the role of a leader, that you don't do a kind of, I prefer Paul to Apollo as the leader or as the father among your children. But be that as it may, we know that in Nigeria, in the real sense of it, until very recently that we are playing it down, the leader of the political party in power at the national level is the president. The leader of the party in power at state level is the governor. And so whoever you see playing the role of leadership in those parties are doing so, either on behalf of the president, as might have been delegated or otherwise. So how long do you think it should take Mr. President to take interest, open one? You cannot say he doesn't have interest, but open one that will be known to all Nigeria that this is where Mr. President is going. And perchance he does that, where would that lead us?
Let me say right away that there appears to be a shift on the part of Mr. President. A shift away from what happened in 2015, his body language. In fact, his open declaration of for everybody and for nobody.
The presidency has also said that let the National Assembly go and decide.
But that is,
even now,
but even then,
that is coming from the presidency.
But even now, you also discover that there seems to be, because the fact that the vice president had to be meeting with key contestants, to suggest to you that he would, of course, the vice president would not do anything without the understanding of his principles, of Mr. President. So it is. So it simply means, from my own point of view, the way I understand it, the president is being discreet. He doesn't want to swing from one extreme of non-committal stance, indifference of 2015 to now a militant, partisan, appointed position. I think he just decided to stay somewhere in the middle. Of course, yes, he already has his preference. He has agreed with the party.
Do you know his preference?
I want to believe strongly.
Yeah, Senator
I want to believe Senator Lawan. But President Muhammadu Buhari is not the kind of person who will come out to say that in a very pointed manner. No, why? Well, you know that our president is not in a regular sense, not a humorous person. It's not the kind of expressive, militant sounding, table, pounding kind of public affairs person. No. The best tradition in the military is that of actually, planning your strategies at the best of time, waiting in the behind, and then doing your strategy. So that before you get to the war front, you have mapped out the entire theater for yourself before you then decide whether. So the enemy might think you are coming from the front, you come from the rear. So that is the way. I think it is more in the character of the president to be discreet, even when he wants to actually put his foot down on any particular thing. You won't get him to come out to say, yes, Ndume, get a no. But in any case, and I think it's probably a better way of doing things. As long as he knows what he wants, as long as in a very discreet manner, he goes for it, behind the scenes, and gets other to do the public job for him.
Okay. Prince Sani Ajayi.
Yeah.
Let's begin to look at what the party leaders are saying.
Yeah, what the party
starting from Oshiomhole.
Yeah.
And this outright outlandish declaration that this is where the party is going.
Yes.
If you are not ready to toe the line, get out of the party.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think that...
to what extent is that democratic?
It is not. I think the language is wrong. I think it should be more persuasive. Because it's not talking to school children. It's talking to adults. And these adults we're talking about, some of them are billionaires in quotes. You understand? And so I don't think we need to exhibit, a kind of egocentric attitude towards this. I think, it should buy a little from the vice president, who goes about doing things meticulously, and if he himself as a party chairman, although I like his principles, I may not really fancy his ties, but if he himself has been a little bit careful and has been calling these people together and making them to understand that this party belongs to all of us and we all belong to Nigeria. And the major focus right now is to take Nigeria to the next level of prosperity and growth. And then where everybody will have at least 2 square meals on his table, and then people will jettison poverty mentality. Because I realize that in Nigeria, we could be the poorest climate on earth. But again, our people are still trying to develop poverty mentality generationally. That even though, they're taking poverty as a way of life. And it's sad. So I think, he should not be so militant in nature, and he should be able to talk to Senator Ndume, and Senator Ndume too has got his own share of beating. There was a time the guy was suspended, and why was he suspended? He was fighting for Mr. President, in a way, in our view, and eventually he suffered for it, although the suspension later turned to vacation, because while he was away enjoying his life, he still came back to the Senate and collected everything he could have lost. And so I'm trying to say that Mr. President, should please still call them to order. I'm suggesting that he should call Senator Ndume, Senator Goje, and Senator Lawan to a roundtable, conference, and let them understand that what we have at stake is Nigeria. And I'm really happy, as a citizen of this nation, what is happening right now. Because so many years ago, before the coming of President Olusegun Obasanjo, everybody here in the southern part of the country used to believe that all the people in the north are Hausas. And you don't see this kind of rivalry between them. If I told you in the past, 20 years ago, they could arrange between themselves, and they should get Bankasa, let's one of us just be there, the president. And then all these moves will follow us. But now they realize that, listen, I am from North Central, you are from Northeast, you are from Northwest. So we're not the same, okay? And what matters most is Nigeria, as the real issue. So I think gradually, we're evolving. And then, but for now, since we are at the infancy level, Mr. President, I'm sorry to keep saying this, Mr. President should still come out and say precisely this who I want.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Still talking about utterances of the party leaders, you listen to Oshiomhole also saying to the National Assembly members elect, at this time around, is going to be winners take all. The dominant party, the ruling party, will not leave anything to chance for members of opposition, either as far as the so-called juicy committees of the National Assembly, either at the red or green chambers are concerned, or even the leadership that we are talking about. It's not just the Senate presidency or the speakership of the House of Reps that is at stake. You have others. Now, this idea of we are going to take everything and there won't be nothing for you, don't you think that will spark a lot of reactions from the other members who are not of the APC going to the National Assembly?
It is in the character of serious-minded leaders to be controversial.
Okay.
If you keep quiet, if you keep mute, and you call yourself the leader of men, people will take you for granted.
Yeah, right.
Until a few months, until about a year ago, the APC was becoming a party without a captain, a ship without a captain, rudderless. When Chief Oyegun was in control, anybody could do. And I want to say this with the advantage of hindsight, that if Chief Oyegun had presided over the affairs of the APC going into the election, into the last election, the party would have been torn into shreds. As a matter of fact, not just you, that is Okorocha and Amosun, but many other governors will be doing whatever caught their fancy, openly and with impunity, without anybody arresting them. And going into the general elections, of course, the party would have lost, because the party had become Agutan, Tioluluso.
So the utterances are that we will take all.
I'm coming. All Comrade Oshiomhole was trying to do was saber rattling.
Okay, saber
you understand? Okay. So actually, look, if you talk tough, sometimes you talk tough, you send signals. But you see, the thing is that just as you are talking tough, you are also doing some work. The moment the man dropped the bombshell, he withdrew from the from the public.
Yes, yes.
And meanwhile, people are already working. You can see that a good number of the contestants are already moving from one place, going to Kano to get the endorsement of members of the National Assembly, from that state, yes, and crisscrossing. That is the way to do it, because the APC was fast becoming a party of totally, or a party of indiscipline, until Comrade Ushomo started.
Okay.
And I think that is the style. I think it's just a body language.
Okay.
It's trying to say style.
Okay.
The substance is actually different.
Okay. Okay. The substance is different.
That's the chief.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I think that people should even understand when they talk about this allocation of position and so on. The minority party already has positions. Yeah. You have the minority leader. You have the minority this, minority that, and so on and so forth.
You
like that.
have the convention of
the
chairman of the appropriation committee to
exactly. So when once is a minority,
the fear now is that even some of these by convention, it's not a rule that you must give, but by convention, the House will cede the position of the appropriation committee to the
Chief Comrade Oshomo even granted that.
Okay,
he said it's one of the few exceptions, yes, but that all other things that we are going to put our foot
according to the
you understand?
Now let's look at the struggle now, going down to state level, the lobbying getting down to state level. You now have the contestants mopping up. That is what I would call it, mopping up along the line before the House will. The 9th National Assembly will be convened, and you now have, we are from Kano, the 3 senatorial districts, senator-elect will vote for Mr. A. From Niger, this is the number. We are yet to hear from Southwest in the recess of it, but we'll be hearing
there are rumblings.
Some people will tell you that this calls for huge expenses of moving, of crisscrossing from one geopolitical zone to the other, convincing people. And in the process, you are relying on the governors also to mobilize. And in the next few months, you say the governors are becoming too powerful. Okay? All these dimensions that have been introduced to it, to what extent would they be helpful to democracy?
Well, it's helpful to democracy in a way because it's becoming more participative in nature. It's becoming people-oriented. It means the people really matter, because before people, the constituents are actually forgotten. As soon as elections are over, they forget all about them. But now they realize that, okay, we still need to go back home. We still need to carry our people along. We didn't do this and that. But the major...
Who are the people they are carrying along?
The people they carry along now are these political, leaders in the various zones.
Sandy, you are being smart.
I think what I want to say about that, I think rather than the people, because the people are already out of the people.
Yeah, the people are out of the people.
The elected representatives of the people from all over the country are the ones that are the target, the focus of this, mopping up, as we call it,
the shopping.
And I think what is very interesting about it is that somehow our system is also getting much more complex and complicated.
Okay.
And I'm not speaking from a negative point of view.
Okay.
Because it then simply means that whereas you have the party leadership, that can say, yes, this is what we want to do, people still must actually travel all over the place, to solidarize, to endorse, or to negotiate, and so on and so forth. So in that, the political party, the members of the political party or political parties will be knowing each other better, rather than each and everybody.
And the expenses, and possibility of making up where you get
these are people who are already men and women of means. Don't let us deceive ourselves. Majority of them are people who have been in
to the point that they don't want more.
But of course now, that's a different matter. If you want us to now discuss that, we probably will find another 1 hour to discuss the obscene financial implications of what we have as a National Assembly in Nigeria.
Okay.
What they take.
Hello? Okay. Now,
but what it takes, sometimes we're making mistakes, because when the military has been coming into the polity. The judiciary has been constant. They will not touch the judiciary. They won't touch the executive. But rather the executive will become more powerful. But the legislature will be the first to be dismantled, right? Yeah. And by the time the clock turns around, what happens again? The legislature has to start from the beginning. You get the point? So we have to understand this. And again, in the First Republic, we don't have special advisors to legislators. But right now they have to hire them. Yeah, that's the truth about it. You don't have conditions that they must have offices in all the streets in their state or wherever. They don't have all those things. So at the end of the day, and then the exchange rate, of the dollar, all these foreign currencies to the naira right now should also be juxtaposed. That how much they were taken up for it.
But that is exactly
the man in charge of ICPC. Gave them an induction, course, where he said, sometimes ago, they were 6.9 billion. Right now, they are about so billion. What was going on? But he also did not say how much is the executive also earning right now. And how much was it there? The unfortunate fact is that our legislators have kept everything so secret that people don't really know.
Okay.
Even the little that we know is totally unacceptable.
Okay, like Shingi said,
maybe 34 million naira per month.
Maybe we'll be looking
how do we justify that?
Maybe we'll be looking at that, like Shingi said, on another program. Maybe even if this program, another edition of the program. But let's look at the reactions of the opposition to these developments. The main opposition party,
yes, the
People's Democratic Party. Their reactions, how do you see it?
Well, I think it is natural. Politics is the acts of, the possible. What is it possible? It's happened before. They were able to use their money.
Hello? 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 Okay, they were able to use their number.
Yes, they were able to use their number to, say the ruling party, the party with the majority in disarray, divided, unsure of itself in 2015, they cashed in on it, and they made a mincemeat of the ruling party to the extent that in the legislative chamber, the ruling party was unable to actually, define itself and present itself. But this time around, so you then expect them that this time around that, if it happened before, it can happen again. You understand?
Do you see it happening?
No. I told you before the commencement of this program that as they say, you don't step into the same river twice. You don't step into the same river twice.
Hello? Yes. Hello, good morning. Yeah. Can we have you? You are on live, please.
So you don't step into the same. I don't see the same thing happening in the exact manner.
Okay.
It occurred.
I think one of the factors that actually helped that happening was the amalgam of different political parties. And those principal officers of the parliament, were actually from PDP. So Dogara, Saraki, and the rest of them.
Recently the campists.
They were
recently campists.
You get the point. And they knew themselves. So it was so easy for them. To just, come together, plan the coup.
In case you have this insistence from Ndume, most especially, it just seems to be quiet
to mellow down now.
To have mellowed down more than Ndume. Supposing you have the insistence from Ndume, getting to the point of election on the day of convening the House, and you have part of members of APC, there is no way Ndume will not also have his friends teaming up with whatever you have from PDP. You think the table cannot still be shaking, if not fully turned?
Depending on can be affected, either way. But that's why I'm saying that, the party should come, more strongly on them to say, listen, if you continue this way, we will expel you. It's as simple as that. You understand what I'm saying? Because you cannot go there to be partyless. it's just going to decamp. You know, no matter what, if they still keep on treating them with, like babies, and they still...
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
You are on live, can we have you?
This son of pastors, I speak with you.
You're welcome, sir.
Yes, sir. My view and point is out for the discussion this morning, sir.
Okay. But we will have wanted it within the discussion, please. Please. Okay.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that, there's a limit to tolerating all this, anti-party this and anti-party that, because no Jupiter should be much, much higher than all other people, So if the Dume now wants to try his own influence, so be it. But then the party can expel him. And that be it, and he should be able to be told, on plan that, well, it's going to be expelled by the party, and he cannot use the person of that party to be anything, at the Senate. But if that is not done, before you know it now, they will start again like the way they did, Don't forget that the Senate President is still very much around, The Deputy Senate President is still very much around.
Hello, my name is Shola Olabode.
Okay.
I want you to stop this discussion and talk about Zamfara. Please.
Okay, we have spoken a bit about Zamfara. Okay.
It's true.
Okay. We spoke a bit about Zamfara in the course of the program.
Yeah.
And you were making reference to the governor even say he wanted to step down.
Yes.
I hope our last caller will have listened to that. Maybe we had fair off of it. We are looking at so many things at a time.
I said it.
We have spoken about Zamfara. Maybe we'll...
But what can we do about Zamfara? What we can do about Zamfara is very simple. I think right now the government is trying to, maybe come out or out. But we need the intelligence gathering, first and foremost. Secondly, we need to make sure that our Air Force is right there on the ground. To comb everywhere. Then we need to come the traditional rulers to order. Then we need to, because Zamfara is not like Osun State. Osun State is an urbanized state. Before you go about 2-4 minutes, you get a town. Zamfara now, they have hamlets. And the hamlets are so scattered. Sometimes about 20 kilometers apart. And they also have the mineral resources, particularly gold. And these people have gradually migrated from the neighboring countries to over there. Okay. And we are now paying back. We paying back the evil we have perpetrated on this nation.
Okay.
We use these people for elections.
Okay. Now talking about Zamfara.
Yes.
On Zamfara. This involvement of traditional rulers is we started there. We are ending there. The involvement of traditional rulers in Zamfara, alleged involvement of traditional rulers in perpetrating some of these crimes. The traditional rulers should be father of law, all that will ensure that peace reigns supreme in their domain. So how do you see it?
Well, it is an allegation.
I said
probably
alleged.
Probably born out of intelligence, work, and information to the junior minister for defense.
Minister of State.
Minister of State. So to that extent, we may continue to speculate.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
But until practical steps have been taken. But that apart, I think Zamfara is just representative of the crisis of security we have in Nigeria.
Okay.
And if we just isolate Zamfara, as the caller said, I don't know what to. If you talk about Zamfara, the problem is that we are now reaping the fruits of our past decades of neglect of the Nigerian police force and the task of policing in Nigeria. Military rule.
Hello? Hello?
Military rule.
Hello?
Okay.
Now,
good morning.
Yeah. I want to say welcome to all of you there.
Thank you.
And I want to commend you for your gesture. For at least entertaining the suggestion by the caller recently.
Okay.
That you should at least put a stop to the pressing issue you were discussing.
Okay.
And to switch over to the issue of Zamfara.
We had spoken about Zamfara earlier too on the program.
I understand. I was with you from the beginning.
Oh, thank you.
I just want to comment that that's your kind gesture.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
all of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So if we continue to talk about Zamfara, some other thing will happen tomorrow. Something happened at Akure, or was it Akure?
Idrani.
So I mean, we cannot.
Now
That's not the proper way to proceed.
Okay, now
let's proceed this holistic approach to the issue of security. in Nigeria.
Before we go, let's draw a lesson from Zamfara.
Yes.
Zamfara is like a mining site.
It is.
Okay. A lot of mining activities are going on there.
And just like in
You look at our own state in
the
Osun,
same thing now.
in Ijesha axis, a lot of mining activities are also going on there.
Yes.
So if you look at what is happening there, the involvement of the miners, what is happening here, don't you think we need to do a kind of review, if not complete overhauling,
We need to do
of our security operatives,
exactly.
not just in Osun, but everywhere where you have mining
You know, we need
sites.
to do a lot of re-engineering, you know, in our policing system.
Okay.
And I think it's high time we started recruiting people from their native lands.
Okay.
So that the people, you know, from the communities, they know themselves. Even when you talk about SARS, if a SARS guy is recruited from Ibokun, he will not take the gun and shoot anybody from Ibokun. You know what I'm saying? He will not say because you have a laptop or because you have dreadlocks and then we shoot him when he knows the son of who he is. So if we can just go back to the way we started, you know, because we neglected all our past heroes' efforts, this and that, and we continually copy the West. Whereas the West have not, in one way jettisoned their own cultures. They're only rebranding them. So I think, community policing should involve recruiting community people.
Okay, from Shenge, before we go, the lesson we have to learn in Osun and other states where you have mining sites
is that apart from mining, the security architecture of Nigeria, not just revamping them or overhauling, in fact, together with the political architecture of Nigeria, in such a manner that we can respond to issues because our arrangements are also based on peculiar local conditions. That is it.
So we want to say thanks to our guests on the program today.
Thank you.
To our viewers, we appreciate you. Those who have made contribution, we appreciate you. And those who had suggested that we veer off to some other things, we appreciate you. And the totality of what we are doing is to ensure that Nigeria is a better place for us all to live in, that we'll be proud Nigerians. And we say thanks, a great deal to all of you. Thumbs up for you. To Sonny Ajayi Prince, thanks for being
appreciate it as always.
my good friend, Barrister Abraham.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
Next week, again, we'll be meeting on another edition of The Nation Today. Until then, Akinola Owolabi is my name. Thanks for being there always. Bye-bye for now.
ṣe da ìdọ̀tí sójú pópó, ìdọ̀tí sínú gọ́tà, ẹ má ṣe da ìdọ̀tí sójú afárá, ìdọ̀tí sínú rífà, ẹ má ṣe da ìdọ̀tí sílé onílé, ìdọ̀tí sójú títì, ẹ má ṣe da ìdọ̀tí sójú àgbàrá. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣàmì lọ́dún ìyá ò ní ríjà omi. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣàmì lọ́dún ìyá ò ní ríjà omi. Àfọwọ́fà ló pọnú ṣẹlẹ̀ omíyalé. Àwọn tó kàn ló mọ̀ lọ́lá Olúwa ibi òní kan wá. Ìkìlọ̀ ró everybody ẹ wá gbọ́ òwe. Ìkìlọ̀ ró everybody ẹ wá gbọ́ òwà. Ṣé ti gbọ́? Ẹ má ṣe da ìdọ̀tí sójú pópó, ìdọ̀tí sínú gọ́tà, ẹ má ṣe da ìdọ̀tí sójú afárá, ìdọ̀tí sínú rífà, ẹ má ṣe da ìdọ̀tí sílé onílé, ìdọ̀tí sójú títì, ẹ má ṣe da ìdọ̀tí sójú àgbàrá. Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Capstone ńlá gbogbo, ìgbọràn ló sàn jẹ́bọ́ lọ, ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ ṣe, mo wí ọrùn mi mọ́. Tẹlifíṣàn ké kankan, rédíò ńlá gbogbo, ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ ṣe kò ní sómi alẹ́. Ṣẹ́gbọ́ ẹ má ṣe da ìdọ̀tí sójú pópó, ìdọ̀tí sínú gọ́tà, ẹ má ṣe da ìdọ̀tí sójú afárá, ìdọ̀tí sínú rífà, ẹ má ṣe da ìdọ̀tí sílé onílé, ìdọ̀tí sójú títì, ẹ má ṣe da ìdọ̀tí sójú àgbàrá. Mọ́tótó ló dára bá ṣe tán ní wàhálà oṣù sí. Ẹni gbàlẹ̀ nílẹ̀ mọ́ fún ẹjẹ́ ká kolẹ̀ ká tún kó lọ tiwa.
Hello and welcome to another beautiful episode of You Were There, where we show you the life-changing projects of the Christian Broadcasting Network, which are made possible by the donations of its partners. Our first piece today takes us to a beautiful city with distinctive features, blissful weather, food variety, and fascinating tourist attractions. Here is a feature on Jos.
Welcome to Jos, a city nestled in the heart of the plateau. A city where beauty is an everyday affair. A city with a story to tell. Jos is Nigeria's home of peace and tourism. It is said that the city was originally called Gwosh, but today the people know it by a different name, J-Town. With key features parallel to none other in the country, Jos stands out in terms of weather and has given the people a feel of what they call small London.
The whites come into Jos because of the weather. It's just like America in Nigeria. Of course, it has its downsides, but I just feel it's the best weather you can get anywhere in Nigeria. I like Jos because it's not too busy, it's not too dull, it's balanced. I like Jos a lot because I like quietness, the serenity, nature. There's so many places you can go to. You can visit for picnics, sightseeing, mountain climbing, and that's the kind of stuff I like. So Jos is the place for me.
Plateau State is rich in agricultural products. You can see a lot of food stuff, people coming from all over Nigeria to buy a lot of things and take to their various places.
So Plateau State is a place to live, a place to enjoy. It's unique, it's fantastic.
With its beautiful landscape and naturally occurring features, Jos is considered to be one of the most beautiful places in Nigeria. The city is full of different people, brimming with culture, style, and a rich history. Jos was well known for its tin mines and the railway which was built to assist the people. Today, it is known for its unique style of art, many up-and-coming artists, its variety of food, especially potatoes and vegetables, its love for music, and the peculiar names the locals bear. Perhaps what many don't know about the city is the unique meaning of the name Jos.
J-O-S, Jesus our Savior. That Jesus our Savior has been so helpful to Jos.
Helpful especially in its dark moments. Over the years, people have come to associate Jos with the violent crisis and killings which plagued the city. This occurrence may have distorted the image of Jos, but it, however, did not change the hearts of the people.
We've had bloodshed, we have wars, but then I walk through the streets and then I still manage to see people smiling and then still living life. And to a very large extent, we're not holding so much bitterness against each other. So I think it's rare. It's not in every city you get to see that, and that's one of the things about Jos.
We welcome visitors at any given time. Our attitude to visitors is very, very thin of we wish to come back.
In almost all the local governments of Plateau State, there are people from other places of Nigeria and even outside that resides in this place, doing one activity or the other.
I still want to say that Plateau State will bounce back, and of course it's already bouncing back. There's business going on around, people move around freely, and I see a very bright future for Plateau.
Visitors, tourists are welcome anytime, any moment of the day.
So welcome to savor the breathtaking scenery, arts, history, and wildlife. Oh, lest I forget. You do well to keep an eye on the ferocious carnivores.
We have a lot of animals in the zoo. We have the lion, we have the crocodile, we have the ostrich, we have the camel, we have the dwarf cattle, we have the assophos, we have the riomrock. We have a lot of tourism potential.
The future of a people, they say, is dependent on the younger generation. This is no different in Jos. The youth have profound love for their city. They express this love and hope through various forms of art, painting, sculpture, music, dance, and poetry.
We are using the poetry, the spoken word poetry, as a medium of change, social change in the environment. We're speaking out against injustice, corruption, and other vices. And to speak for unity, we would like to speak for togetherness, for harmony, for cooperation, and therefore societal progress.
We believe our art is for Christ, so we talk about peace using all forms of art, from painting, choreography, dance, everything.
Everybody's crying for revolution, and if you ask majority of the youth in our community, the revolution they're talking about is bloody revolution. But we're talking about the mindset here now. The revolution we're talking about is a mental revolution, where you have to start with yourself. And if it starts from Jos, we believe it will affect every other part of the country.
Because if you can see, Jos is in the heart of Plateau, and Plateau in the heart of Nigeria, Nigeria in the heart of Africa, Africa in the heart of the world. So I think if we can channel our hearts towards doing the positive thing, I think Jos here can really change everything.
And so, with hope in their hearts, the people of Jos say they will never stop believing in God and striving to make their city greater than ever.
Jos Plateau in the nearest future will be a place for everybody. There are a lot of people coming in and going out of Plateau. It wasn't like this in the past. So it is a sign that people are really knowing the truth that Plateau is a peaceful state.
Ina so ga an zauna lafiya kowa da kowa ana harka na kasuwanci kuma ana samu wasu su shigo su fita kai ma ka je ka dawo.
I'd like to see Jos come back to the state where people can move around without doubt in their hearts. I'd like to see the Jos I knew when I was a child.
Jos is a place that God have.
Jesus is our Savior, and we believe so much in God.
Such a beautiful city, I really admire the fact that despite the security challenges they have faced, the people are resilient and hopeful for a brighter future. Now, still in the city of Jos, a group of people experienced the most amazing makeover when the CBN humanitarian team rolled into town. Take a look.
Very few things are as beautiful as the heartfelt smile, especially the smile of a newborn baby. It spreads sweet joy and lights up our lives. But what happens when the first smile of a baby is not what we expected?
When my son was born, I was surprised to see his lips. I said to myself, is this how God created this boy?
I'm always unhappy whenever I'm in the midst of people because of the condition of my daughter. She looks different from the others.
As these children grow into adulthood, the challenges faced only become bigger.
I am always ashamed to be in the midst of people because of the way I looked.
Ours is a dark world. Like everyone in distress, we seek comfort from those around us. When they turn from us, it only makes the darkness deeper till all light and joy is gone.
I cry all the time. There was no time I could remember being happy.
Unhappy with their situation, there was very little they could do.
I no get one that to do. I never even see money doctors to come do this thing.
Where I come from, a lot of people said that his mouth could not be fixed.
As we lay helpless in the depths of the dark tunnel, all hope completely lost, the first rays of light piercing the darkness seemed like an impossible dream.
When I heard about the free surgery, I thought it was a joke and they wanted to deceive me. Until I was called upon and saw for myself that it was true.
When I heard the news that they could repair my daughter's lips, I prayed that God should make it possible for them to do the surgery for her.
For a moment, we dared to believe, taking our first steps towards the light, hoping against hope that miracles still happen to people like us. Soon, our beautiful smiles are restored. Now life can begin again.
After the surgery, I went back to my village. It was like I was hosting a party. People just kept coming in from different communities to see my new face. Those who knew me couldn't tell it was me. I had to show them my picture before they believed I was the one.
That's truly, I am very glad because the surgery was successful and it came out well.
Before our new